Greetings and welcome to Road to Guitar Mastery, the ongoing show where I attempt to master the guitar by breaking it down into its most fundamental pieces. In today's episode, I'm going to show you all some forgotten chord shapes that can help spice up your playing. As always, the worksheet for this lesson will be available at either my Patreon or MeWe pages, linked down below. So let's get into it. These first forgotten chord shapes are first inversion triads, meaning that the third chord member is the lowest voiced note. This shape has a variety of different uses. One such use is playing octaves by fretting only the root notes and muting the rest of the strings for lead lines. You can also throw in that fifth to create lead power chords. Note that this power chord shape is the same for all diatonic chords except the seventh chord because it is diminished, meaning you lower the third and fifth chord members. A final use case is playing the full first inversion chord by adding in the third chord member. The 1, 4, and 5 chords use a major third, while the 2, 3, 6, and 7 chords use the minor third. In this chord shape, you can use your middle finger to slide back and forth between the major and minor thirds depending on which diatonic chord you are playing. Using this first inversion chord shape creates a floating sensation due to the unstable third presiding in the bass. This shape also sounds good while cycling through the secondary dominant and diatonic chords. This exercise traverses the entire cycle in fourths. For the minor chords, you simply have to raise the third to major to create the secondary dominant, which becomes the 5 chord for the next diatonic chord in the sequence. In the diminished chord, you must raise both the third and fifth to create the secondary dominant effect. Major chords already have the raised third, so you can drop your pinky down to hit the minor 7th instead. As I mentioned before, this exercise cycles in fourths, so you end up playing the 1 chord followed by the 4, followed by the 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, and then finally back to your 1, with each secondary dominant in between. If you'd like more information on secondary dominant chords, check out my secondary dominant chord trick video. In this next exercise, we cycle through the same chords but in a linear fashion. To do this, you can utilize this 3-note secondary dominant shape in between the diatonic chords. The next forgotten chord shapes are also first inversion triads, but voiced higher for lead playing. Practice going up and down the diatonic chords using these new major, minor, and diminished shapes. You can also do the linear secondary dominant cycle from earlier using this new 3-note shape in between the diatonic chords. In summary, we discussed several rarely used first inversion chord shapes and a few use cases in conjunction with secondary dominant chords. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I will do my best to answer. That's all I have for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and I will be back with another video very soon. Take care, everyone.